Now, when I was in Richmond as the governor's chief of staff, Virginia was named the best state for business by CNBC 3 out of 4 years. Only state to ever receive 3 times in a row that distinction. We helped recruit the largest economic development deal in the country's history, HQ2. Victor Hoskins, who's now running economic development here in Fairfax, was a big part of that. This is a region that when you sell to companies, they're looking at Fairfax, but they're looking at the region. They're not just looking at Tacoma Park or Alexandria, Montgomery, they're looking at the region. And we compete against Raleigh-Durham, Dallas, Houston, Chicago, Philadelphia, New York. They compete as regions. They think as regions. And what challenges us here in the DMV is our economic development partnerships roll up to respective secretaries of commerce that sell states, which is important. But if you take the 24 jurisdictions that encompass COG, and you said if we were our own state, what would we look like? We'd be the most educated state in the country. We'd be the most diverse state in the country. We'd be top 10 in the country for GDP. We have a lot to sell here as a region. And one of the things, if you look at a map of the country, and Department of Commerce has economic development districts, so regions that work together to sell their regions. 85% of the country sits in an EDD, economic development district. We're one of the few areas in the country that does not. So over the next year, we're pulling together all the stakeholders, the economic development directors, the chambers of commerce, all the stakeholder groups, to put together a comprehensive economic development strategy for this region and then apply to be an economic development district.